It's Pop Trigger time! Hey everyone, I'm Samantha Shocker. Thank you so much for tuning in. Our co-host today, our very own Brie Esrig. You can subscribe to her YouTube channel at Brie Esrig. I'm loving your shirt.
Thank you. It's United Couture.
New to the Pop Trigger studio, he's the film and media reporter for The Wrap. Lucas Shaw is here.
Woo!
Thanks
And Brett Ehrlich, you guys can catch up on Declassified. That's the pre-show for Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Really funny stuff.
Yeah, really cool stuff. This week we have a diorama, so on Monday, check it out.
I got to see it.
Yeah.
I saw a little sneak peek. It was good.
Amazing.
And then you can catch me live at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on Dr. Drew On Call on HLN. I'm co-hosting with Dr. Drew all week, so don't forget to tune in. Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks, Lucas. Let's get right to it. I want to talk to you guys about Kanye West on Kimmel last night. So a lot of people were surprised that Kanye West would even appear on Jimmy Kimmel because of the fact that they had this infamous Twitter feud. If you guys aren't aware of it, in case you've been under a rock, you can watch our previous coverage of it. So I'm sure we will provide a link. But let's break down the interview from last night. Okay? Thoughts, 5 words or less.
Snobberries taste like snobberries.
Team Kanye.
Musical genius, but people moron.
That's a wrap, Kanye. Okay, so before we dive into the interview, were you surprised that he was going to even come on Kimmel?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that he smiled when Kimmel showed the clip of the kids reenacting.
I wasn't surprised he came on the show. I was surprised he got mad in the first place.
Kanye said that it was almost like all his pent-up anger at the industry that he took out on Kimmel. So he admitted that.
So here's what happened. As Kanye keeps talking, I go from, you idiot, to, oh, I get what you were saying. You just say it like a weirdo.
Yes. So some of the highlights that I liked last night, first of all, it was incredibly awkward, like the first minute. I was like, oh my God, this is so painfully awkward. And then it warmed up. I thought Jimmy Kimmel did a great job of using humor to diffuse the situation because there was clearly tension there. And I understood, like you said, like I understood now where Kanye West was coming from. It doesn't excuse the fact that he says that he calls himself a creative genius. Like, just don't take yourself and your work so seriously, but at least he owns up to it. At least he just comes off inappropriately, but he owns up to it.
But, and you're always gonna have to deal with that with Kanye. I mean, Kanye even told Jimmy Kimmel right after he called himself a creative genius, he's like, I know that I shouldn't describe myself this way, but he can't help it.
Yeah.
He's an egomaniac, and he's the most sensitive kind of world celebrity on the planet.
I do like that Kimmel said that, you know, even though the world may seem as a jerk because of these outlandish statements that we all hear and we go, huh, and we scratch our head and say that comes off very egomaniac. I did like the fact that Kimmel said that outside of all of that, he treats everybody with respect. And if that's the case, then I have no problem with Kanye. Just as long as you're treating every single person with respect, that's all that should matter.
Maybe it's just an image, like Kimmel was saying, like, I know you as a person. Like, I've gotten to know you at this wedding. Like, I see you being nice and talking to people and not being this person that you are in interviews. And so I just feel like it's just an act.
I don't even know if that's true. And I had thought that until this interview.
Okay.
And I see flashes of just someone who, in order to accomplish the things musically that he accomplishes, there's this other package deal, this in crazy chaos of neuroses that shoots out a couple different things. One is gold digger, and the other is calling himself a genius and pissing people off.
Right.
And you can't have one without the other. You should be able to have one without another. Without the other. He says, "I can't help it," but you can try to help it.
Thank you for saying that. At the end of the day, we all have faults, and if someone pointed out to me, Sam, you shouldn't do A, B, C, D, and E, which happens all the time, then I at least try and take a step back and go, okay, let me try and correct that.
It works for him, though.
And
But
he-
maybe people would like him more, though, if he kind of was a little bit more
what he's
humble.
worried about.
I don't think he cares if people like him.
Yeah.
And he uses all those slights as motivation. His last album was like the angriest music he's
Yeah,
ever made.
but I sat next to him at a wedding too. Jimmy Kimmel's not the only one, and he was actually really soft-spoken. I mean, he didn't know anybody else at the table, so I understood that maybe he didn't feel comfortable speaking, but he came off very soft-spoken. And then he also sang a song for the couple at the wedding, just as like a nice term of endearment, which
That's
I thought was really
nice.
cool too. And he was nice to everybody else as well.
I'd like
Yeah.
to hear him describe what makes him a genius.
Right.
He's like, oh, what makes me a genius? Curtis Mayfield songs.
Yeah.
Those are Curtis Mayfield songs, and you're rapping over them. Like,
Let's call Albert Einstein a genius. Let's call those
that's the
people a
thing.
genius. That's
But
yeah.
his concrete details in the persuasive paragraph of why he's a genius are like leather jogging pant.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's put genius in context.
Thank you. I love that, Brett. Okay, really quickly, who came out on top? I would have to say, I got a better understanding, so both of them.
Kimmel, always.
I think Kanye came out better.
Okay. What do you guys think? Who do you think came out on top? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you all next time on Pop Trigger.